County. So good to have you with us this morning. And my name is Deborah Blanton. I host the television show Cleveland County Kitchen. And I am here with Bruce Duncan.
Hello. Good to have you, Deborah. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you, Bruce. And I'm also here with Lulu. And I asked Bruce if she spoke on command, and she doesn't. But we might hear her, Bruce. We might hear her bark. Lulu.
Oh, she's liable to bark.
Woo, bark, bark. Anyway, we're here to greet you in Falston, North Carolina, is where Bruce and his wife and Lulu live. He is a conifer specialist. He is certified and he knows exactly what he's doing with all his conifers. They're probably very limited, are they not?
Yes.
Yeah, there are not many conifer specialists.
Well, out west you'll find a lot because that's where all the nurseries are.
Oh, sure enough.
But not many in the southeast.
Right.
But we're learning to grow them in the southeast now.
And partly because of you and
Well,
your expertise.
We're trying. Tom Cox, who recently passed away, wrote a book about growing conifers in the southeast, and he's probably the guru
Oh, got it.
for growing conifers
Got it.
around here.
Bruce may look familiar to you all because he used to work at S&K Nursery, and you still advise out there. Is that correct?
I do work on when they need me. My health has not allowed me to stay on anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm doing good. I have leukemia, and I've had it,
Oh.
but it's the last couple of years at the nursery. Nursery business is hard work.
I know it is, yeah.
But I still work, like in the spring, in the busy time, I'll still come in and help a few days. And S&K has a great conifer section,
Okay.
and I help out with that. And Justin and I co-host a YouTube show, a garden show. So
okay.
I stay busy.
Well, be aware of that. Look out on YouTube. Well, we're not here to talk about conifers. We're here to talk about his garden spot. And I liken it to going to your backyard. If the dog's no longer there, but you still have a dog lot, this could have been a dog lot.
Could be.
And what a wonderful way to convert a space. The reason I call it a dog lot, because it has fences all the way around, and you'll see that here in just a minute. But we're here to look at your vegetables, Bruce, and everything that you planted and how you go about doing that.
Okay, sounds great. Looking forward to it.
Good, okay. Well, stand by. We're going to crawl out of this, whatever this is, not a gator, but a golf cart. Golf cart. And
I call it my gardening cart.
well, that's good thing because that's what it is.
Yeah.
So stand by. We're going to get into the garden.
Education is our most powerful tool to improve and change our world. Hi, I'm Rhonda Benfield, your host for School Matters. Join me for a new program every other week with information from and about the students and staff of Cleveland County Schools. Discover what our schools are doing to challenge students and help them reach their full potential. You can catch us on Spectrum Cable Channel 19 or stream us live on c19.tv.
Well, we've moved inside into the dog lot, modified dog lot. And Bruce, my God, there is so much here. You have flowers, you have vegetables. But tell us what you've done here, because some of these look like they're pretty young, like this over here.
Well,
And will, but you know, these have been here. Is that correct?
They have. I have 8 by 4 beds, And if you'll notice, I did them a little higher than most raised beds are. I did this because of my age. It's getting harder to get down on the ground.
But all right, now there we go. That's an aid.
So I can work in these taller beds much more comfortably than down on the ground.
Sure.
And because the vegetables are right there at you. But you would be amazed how much we get out of these 6 beds. When you were here a month ago, you remember those 2 beds in the center were full of green beans.
Right.
And they ran their course, and I took those out and started growing some new ones, and I grew the wrong kind. That's a cooler weather green bean, and they're not doing well in this heat.
Oh, yeah.
But out of those 2 beds this spring, my wife has already canned 30 quarts of green beans, which is amazing.
Which is amazing, yes. Vegetables you don't have to go to the store to get.
No.
That's a wonderful
And
thing.
you know what you're eating when it comes out of here,
Exactly,
too. Yeah, you don't have to worry
exactly.
about. I don't use any chemicals. But I have bell peppers here in the center. This is companion growing. Now, when you were here last, I had yellow squash on both sides.
Okay.
They ran their course. I actually start planting vegetables early March.
Oh, yeah.
And if there's a chance of frost killing them, I come out here and cover them. That's another advantage to these beds.
Sure enough.
So we get early fruit than most people do in traditional gardening,
Right.
where you plow up a field and all that. But I took out the yellow squash last week. I've got new ones coming up, so in a month I'll be getting more yellow squash out of this bed, plus the bell peppers. Cantaloupes here.
Right, and those were here before, of course.
They were, and I had the cucumbers here when you were here a month ago.
Okay.
Same thing. They ran their course. I dug those up, and I've got new ones coming now.
Okay.
And-
Now let me tell you, excuse me for
No.
interrupting, but I grow cucumbers too, besides other vegetables, and I have a fence, and I just wind them up, and they crawl all up on the fence.
And I have done that, like over here, but this year I just decided to grow them in this bed, and they did well. They'll grow down like the cantaloupes.
Right,
but-
right, on the ground.
But they do well, so.
And also, tell us about your tomatoes. I am just astounded about how they look and how you do that.
Yeah, everybody likes to ask about my tomatoes. This is called vining. A tomato plant, as you know, if you grow it and just leave it, it'll produce tons of vegetation.
Right.
And it's really not necessary. What I'm doing is directing the energy of the plant into fruiting more than vegetation.
Okay.
So as the plant grows, I keep the bottom limbs cut off and just let it vine up a structure, in this case my fence. And by the end of summer, these vines will be up at the top and have tomatoes all across the top.
Oh,
It's
my
amazing.
word.
But you can
Oh,
see how many I've got
Bruce.
now.
Yes, yes.
And this and it also helps in our weather too for air circulation. One of the biggest problems with tomatoes is the blights you get because of the plants getting wet and not drying.
Drying out.
And when you remove a lot of the vegetation, that helps cure that problem.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
One other thing I can see right here as an advantage, you can find those horned green worms.
You can, yeah.
Really quickly with this.
I haven't noticed any yet, but it's about time for them to appear.
It is,
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a neat way to grow vegetables.
It is.
You can do it in a small area, and you'll grow more than you can imagine, and it's easy. If you have a field that you plow, like my grandparents used to do, and it rains, you can't get into the field to work.
Right,
It's not
correct.
a problem here.
Oh, yeah. And we hadn't mentioned, but you probably see we've got, what do you call this?
Landscape fabric.
Landscape fabric.
It's a commercial fabric.
And what a perfect thing to have down, because you don't track stuff around when you go out and get into the house, but it's also kind of protective. Now, I will say it's hot, and
Yeah.
that's why Lulu's not here, because she can burn her feet on this.
Yeah, it gets hot out here.
But does that also help incubate the plants
It
and
does.
give them heat to grow better?
It does. Now, when temperatures start getting into the mid-90s or higher, I've got a shade cloth that I bring out here, and it
Oh.
helps a lot. You know, vegetables, most vegetables, they'll go dormant in real hot weather. Tomato, as a matter of
Oh.
fact, people they'll call at the nursery a lot and say, "Why are my tomato vines not producing any tomatoes? They were doing so well a month ago." In real hot weather, those tomato blossoms go sterile, and
Okay,
a lot
darn.
of other plants will do the same thing. So.
Or would it also be because it's so hot that the pollinators aren't flying around?
Well, they will in the morning,
Okay.
and if you come out here early in the morning before sun's up, when I say before sun up, I mean at noon
Up,
sun.
yeah,
But
yeah.
when it's cooler in the morning, you'll see a lot of pollinators.
Okay.
But the heat of the day will cause those flowers to go sterile.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So the pollinators aren't really helping at that point.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to talk, Dennis, and you can be thinking about this. What you've put in these boxes, soil wise, to grow your
Okay.
plants.
All right.
So you be thinking.
Okay.
All right. Come back soon.
Looking for a smarter start to your future? Welcome to Cleveland Community College, where big dreams begin close to home. Whether you're launching a new career, transferring to a four-year university, or building skills to level up, Cleveland Community College gives you the power to go further without the big price tag. With small class sizes, real-world training, and programs in healthcare, advanced manufacturing, IT, and more. We're here to help you succeed from day one. Affordable, accredited, and all about you. Enroll today and take your next step at Cleveland Community College.
Washington Outreach Ministries is one of the largest emergency food pantry in Cleveland County. We feed about 15,000 people a month. We have bi-weekly distribution every other Friday, and we serve them with all type of product, not just food product, but all type of necessities. Anything that they need, we have here and we can supply it. Food is available every day, but we offer bi-weekly distribution so the mass of Cleveland County can come through and enjoy some of the food products that we have here.
All right, we're back, and we've moved positions in the garden. We're now at the south end, whereas before we were at the north end. And we're looking at his newest crop, which is a type of bean. But we were just discussing this, and what do you think you're going to be doing and why?
I'm probably going to pull these up and start over with another type of green bean. Now, these did really well a couple of months ago
Okay.
when my wife canned so many. But green beans typically, as a rule, like cool weather anyway. But if you're going to grow green beans this time of year, new plants, you need a green bean that's better for the heat. And there are some varieties. And I should have known better. But anyway, I'm going to probably pull these up.
Well, what you've done, you've given people out in Cleveland County an opportunity to think about that if they're going to be planting and when they're going to be planting.
That's true. Now I have some warm weather green beans over here. You can see along the perimeter.
Oh, yes.
That's called tender green, and they can take the heat better. And you can see they look better than these over here. Are just one every other day I come out and one's wilted and ends up dying. It's just too much heat out
Yeah,
here for this
it
type
is.
of green
And
bean.
especially again that with the cover here, there are pluses for this landscaping material,
Yes.
and then they're not. Well, listen, we're standing right over this particular bed, so let's talk about what's in here.
Well, I have composted soil, and I make my own compost. Now, if you were a person that was going to start from, you don't have a vegetable garden like this, and you say, all right, I'm going to start with one, and I'm going to make my beds, you'll probably have to buy some soil. But I have got to the point, and you can see over there, I don't know if we can get it on camera or not,
Yeah.
but I have my compost bins where I make my soil, and I take all vegetation from the yard, the garden, where I cut grass, everything, and throw it in a compost bin, and it ends up looking like this, which is really good.
Oh, yeah. Now, how long did that take, though?
2 or 3 months.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
And at the end of the summer, when I'm taking everything up to transition to cool weather stuff, like in the fall and winter out here, I will have collards, cabbage,
Oh,
onions,
sure.
carrots,
This
broccoli.
This is a 12-month-a-year-around garden.
Exactly.
Whoa.
So in late summer, when I take all this out, the summer weather vegetables, I'll pile them up in the compost bins, and by next spring I'll have soil like this. And I do what's called a no-dig method, permaculture. Are you familiar with
No,
that?
I'm not.
I don't disturb the soil. Next spring, for example, when I come in here and take whatever's in during the winter out, I will take my compost, add about 4 inches to the top of this. I don't disturb this. I just put the compost on top and then plant in that.
Oh.
And that does several things, but the main thing is it keeps weeds out.
Of course.
When you
it does.
disturb soil, that's where you get a lot of your weeds.
Sure, because the weed seeds come up to the
Mhm.
surface. Ah.
But it also helps, and the reason they call it permaculture, you have microbial life in this soil that helps the plants intake food. And so by not disturbing the soil, you keep their life cycle good.
And they stay happy and do their job.
And the plants do very well. And I don't even fertilize.
Whoa.
So that tells you how
Yes.
it's really good soil when you do it like this.
It is.
Mhm.
And that's easy to do because everybody has dead things
Sure.
around.
Yeah.
And just compost that. Just put it in. And do you have like a fenced in area for it?
I do. My compost bins are like half the size of these beds. They're 4x4s. And all you do is take your dead vegetation. Sometimes, if it's really big vegetation, I'll run the lawnmower over it. That helps
Okay.
it break down quicker. And I just throw it in those compost bins. In 2 or 3 months, you've got nice,
You've got
rich soil. Now, in the
Whoa.
winter time, it'll take, if whatever I throw in those compost bins, say late summer, early fall, it'll be spring before it's ready. About 6 months longer.
God.
But it's neat.
Well, that's easy to do. I mean, that's
Mhm.
the older gentleman farmer's way to do it.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, it's the way the Indians used to do it too.
Oh well.
Yeah, Indians used to do raised beds, and the early Pilgrims did. I learned that by going to places like Colonial Williamsburg
Yes.
and Old Salem, and I saw
Okay.
they have demonstrations of how they did their gardening 300 years ago, and this is basically how they used to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, all right. I just want to show the one plant behind you. I had to ask, and I had to ask again. This is okra, and it's going to take it. Well, there's some baby okra down in there right now.
Here's 2 pods that need cut now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you can. They don't have to get great tall.
No, and I'm growing a variety of okra that's a dwarf variety.
Okay.
I have grown like Clemson spineless or emerald
Right,
green, and
right.
they'll get 8 feet tall.
Oh, right.
But I ran across this last year and thought I'd try it last year, and I loved it. These plants will only get about 3 or 4 feet tall, but they will produce out the yin yang. They produce a lot of okra.
And this is dwarf.
It's a dwarf. It's called dwarf Cajun okra.
Okay.
In case you want to look
you got
into that.
so that you'll know to look for that.
Mhm.
Do you buy from seed stores around here, or do you go to catalogs?
Usually catalogs are on the net. I'll buy seed off the net.
Okay.
That's how I got this seed.
Okay. And so, just send people out there rather than go to
You on the net,
On the net.
the internet.
Internet,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Just get on your computer and look up dwarf okra seed, and you'll find it. It'll
Okay.
pop up.
Okay. Well, that's so we're having to get educated about how to use what's out there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're going to take another break, and then we're going to show you something that's going to knock your eyes out.
This is the place that I was able to go forth with my education. I've been to different places. I've tried to do this a few times and I wasn't able to get my GED until I came here again, and now I succeeded. I thought it was going to take me 2 years, 2 to 3 years, yes. It took me 3 to 4 months.
Someone once said that without music, life would be a mistake. And that's how we feel here on Face the Music. Hi, I'm Summer Castle-Keever, and I'd love for you to join me each month on our new program, Face the Music, which airs on C19 TV and C19.tv. Each month we'll highlight the talents, personalities, and stories behind some of the area's most gifted singers, songwriters, and musicians. It's going to be a lot of fun, so join me each month for a new edition of Face the Music right here on C19.
We always have had
That's
a
true.
certain courtesy to other people upon their retirement or somebody's passing.
Well, I got something nice to say about our retirement.
Well, we're not.
Good riddance.
I wish that you.
First, he put giant flagpoles on the White House lawn like it was a Buc-ee's, and then he cemented over the Rose Garden. Then he turned the Oval Office into a place that looks like a New Orleans cat house.
Well, I'm sure President Obama evaluated both candidates and went with the best one, better one.
Yeah, one of
But
them had
I
a D
was-
by her name.
Well, one cannot help but wonder why. Betsy, one possibility would be that the Hurricanes are now afraid to enter the newly named Gulf of America while Trump's in the White House.
I knew Bruce was a gardener, but I didn't know that he's a gardener 12 months out of the year, all year round. And he's going to talk about that as we're looking and scanning this beautiful, colorful plants that you've assembled here, Bruce. And of course, they're in different layers as we'll show you. And you know, they're the short ones, the medium ones, then the tall ones.
Yes.
And but you not only do this in the summertime, but you do it in the wintertime.
I do. Your producer was just saying about how hard it is to get color in the winter, and I have color. Now it's not as vibrant.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's not like it is now. But when I dig these up in early fall, I'll replace them with pansies, violas, and I'll do what's called foodscaping. Behind the flowers, I'll plant like purple mustard, curly kale, and believe it or not, those will give you an ornamental look too. It's
Sure
actually
they will.
pretty.
Yeah.
And along with the flowers that are blooming in the winter, I still have a lot of color back here.
Right.
And I'm
right.
glad you mentioned about the stagnation,
Yes.
the layers.
Yes.
That's how I try to plant taller stuff in the back, shorter stuff in the front. I think that looks a lot better.
Well, you can see everything that way.
Absolutely.
If they're staggered. All right, I want to know what that pink spiny
I thought you would
looking
ask.
thing.
Spider flower, clayome. Now, I've heard some experts call it clayome. I've heard others say clayome. I've asked a professor at Clemson one time which one it is. He said either one. So
Well, that's good. Now, what do you have growing behind that?
that is red twig dogwood, and that's another part of my color in the winter. That those dogwood plants behind the spider flower, in the fall they turn brilliant yellow, which is pretty.
Okay.
But when they fall off, the cold weather will turn the twigs bright red.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hence the name red twig dogwood.
Yes.
And
yes.
it's beautiful. And now you got to have some good cold weather for them to turn a bright red. And some winters here, you know, are mild. But if we get some good cold weather, like around Thanksgiving, it's beautiful at Christmas.
And so, what cold are we talking about? I'm just curious.
In the 20s at night,
Okay.
you know, if it can get down low 20s,
Okay.
it'll really pop those twigs red.
Wow, wow. But again, if we don't get that, they'll hold off changing to red. Is that right?
Well, they'll still turn red. It just won't be as brilliant.
Gotcha.
But the colder the weather we have in the winter, the redder they will turn.
Wow.
So it's beautiful.
Isn't the plant world amazing?
It is amazing. Yeah.
But it takes amazing people to figure all that out.
Yeah.
You just know to where to go on the internet to find what you want.
Just a little study.
Yeah.
Anybody
Good.
can do it.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Well, anyway, this is what is the coxcomb?
Celosia, yes, ma'am.
Is that called? And then coxcomb.
Yeah, coxcomb is a different type of celosia. It has more of that rooster-looking
Right.
cock.
Right.
That's a different kind of celosia. But yeah, people do call that coxcomb.
Well,
And it gives you a really pop of color.
oh, it does. Yes.
One of my favorite, and I'm not a white flower lover, but this white biddens, I really love that flower.
Biddens, B-I-D-D.
Like I bid you farewell.
Okay, biddens.
Biddens.
And they look
And
like little daisies.
They do, and I like that daisy look. That's one of the few white flowers that I like, if it's got a good yellow center.
Yeah.
And that one does.
Which makes the white stand out when it's
does,
really yellow.
yeah.
Well, Lulu, you've been so good, so patient. You got to sit in the shade for a while. But I know it's hot and she's panting, and I think we're ready to conclude this.
I appreciate you coming, Deborah.
Well, Bruce, listen, thank you so much for having us. It's just a thrill to see your lovely place.
Thank you.
You're
very
welcome.
much.
Cleveland Community College has identified strengthening online learning as the topic for its quality enhancement plan. We're calling it SOUL. SOUL's 5-year implementation plan is focused on continuous improvement of online courses and promoting student success. We're excited for you to take this journey with us.
As Cleveland County's premier event facility, LeGrand Center is the ideal location for any event. The LeGrand Center is located 45 minutes west of Charlotte, 45 minutes north of Spartanburg, and just a little over an hour east of Asheville. Whether you're a small business looking for a place for an off-site meeting or a bride looking for that special location for her wedding, LeGrand Center is the perfect place for you.
These lines, like the creases in my father's hands, show the hard work and sacrifices of a line worker. These lines are the connections my father helped build between people, businesses, and organizations. They tell the story of how we invested in ourselves. We're public power, and these lines are our lines.
Hi, I'm Amy Doolin, Dean of Workforce Development at Cleveland Community College. Thank you for watching C19 TV, Cleveland County's hometown channel.